The COVID vaccines really can't come soon enough, but they are coming. And there's a hurdle of convincing Americans that they will be safe to take. Many are expressing hesitancy, particularly in some Black and Latino communities. Our national correspondent Jason Carroll spoke to residents of one of the hardest hit towns in Alabama on what is fueling that distrust.
Hobson City, Alabama. The term city used loosely, it's really a small town. Population about 800.
We're a small community, small enough to know everybody and everybody's cat.
Hobson City's mayor says small enough to know that when it comes to trusting in a COVID-19 vaccine, many people here feel the way she does.
I'm reluctant to take the vaccine.
Wait, you yourself are reluctant to take it?
I am reluctant.
Most who live in Hobson City are American. The medical community runs deep. The town, located about 100 miles from Tuskegee, Alabama, home to one of the darkest chapters in American medical history. In the 1930s, government doctors conducted experiments on Black men, leaving them untreated for syphilis until the 1970s, so doctors could monitor how it affected them. Alabama is taking a beating from the coronavirus, the state's 14-day positivity rate at just over 29%. In Calhoun County, where Hobson City sits, the rate is 37%. Still, older residents such as Joe Cunningham have such little faith in doctors, he was reluctant to go in for a COVID-19 test, and any discussion about a vaccine is off the table.
I was afraid to take the test.
Why not, Mr. Cunningham?
I don't know. I just don't understand. I'd like to know where it's coming from.
I'm gonna have to convince my father because he don't know what this vaccine is about. As Black people, that's all we know is to trust the Lord and trust God. We have to convince our families that this is the right thing to do. Because this will help slow it down and help us take it down.
Distress in communities of color is not just a small town problem, it's nationwide. A study conducted in September exploring the issue in Black and Latino communities found just 14% of Black people and only 34% of Latinos trust that a vaccine will be safe.
It's like it's almost to me like a fear. Like I have a phobia of needles. I'm almost at that point where I have a phobia of doctors.
Carmen Bailey was diagnosed with COVID-19 in April. Bailey says she avoided medical help because she feels she has been poorly treated by doctors in the past. Now the grandmother of 3 suffers from adverse effects with her heart, lungs, and kidneys.
Some days I can barely walk, and I'm tired of hurting. I don't know what to do.
What she will not do is take a vaccine.
We don't know any kind of side effects from them. So I just really feel like at this point where it's people that's going to take that vaccine as guinea pigs.
You really think they're guinea pigs?
I do. I just feel like we don't know enough.
Dr. Margaret Larkins Pettigrew and her husband, Chennis Pettigrew Jr., know the health community has a number of hurdles to overcome to reach communities of color.
When you talk about trust, you're looking at that type of war. So, do I trust the science because they're telling me this is what's going to help me, but I have a lived experience that says that this may not be so because I have been deprived of other things.
The Pettigrews come from a place of experience professionally and personally. Both lived and worked in TV for a time. Both are participating in the COVID-19 vaccine trial. The couple is advocating for trust in the science behind the vaccine.
We thought that it was important to make this contribution and to represent the community that we're part of in a way that says you can do this and you can take this vaccine.
Was there any hesitation at all? I had no hesitation. I see what happens when people of color are not included in studies. And that is the downside of things.
Back in Hudson City, Mayor McCrory says she has had a change of heart, but it had little to do with science.
Before the segment over,
across from a young man who came in to purchase a grave for his 59-year-old wife who died of COVID-19 last Wednesday. And if anything makes me change my mind, that changed my mind. His wife's
$2,500.
right over there in our cemetery. 59
So
years
can I
old.
candy check today?
You sure it's gonna go to my account?
Jason Carroll, CNN, Hobson City, Alabama.
Distrust. A lot more to come on the vaccine front. Our coronavirus town hall, the vaccines on the other side of the break. An entire hour of your questions with Dr. Anthony Fauci here to help answer, along with Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who I'll be co-hosting with.
All right, Shalom. We're the Brothers of Great Millstone, the church here in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Akakwadash. Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, that would be the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. I also like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers out there laboring in His work. And as always, you believers, the Akim as well as the Aqua, that subscribe to the truth as well. So, yep. We're back once again, and this sitting right here is going to be entitled The Birthright, all right? Because everything that you see in the form of this swarming activity, you see it, man. You just saw on the news, which the so-called white man controls the media, all right? And everything that he puts out there is a play on your psyche. You got to remember, this war between Jacob and Esau, this struggle in the womb, is also a psychological warfare aspect to it as well. And he's playing on the psyche of our people. And that's how he always got you, man, especially post-slavery. You know, he got you because Jake was hundreds of years behind the 8 ball, if you will. But now we're in a time where Yahweh Shai is polishing up the inner man, and, you know, and it's not easy to run circles around us. There's also Jeremiah, 50th chapter, her images are broken, all right? Nevertheless, this devil plays on your psyche through his media, which that word media goes back to medium, which goes directly back to witchcraft. All right, this is how this man finesse you. See, but nevertheless, what you're seeing taking place is all an effort to somehow retain momentum of the birthright. This is what this all goes back to, man. Okay, and that's what we're going to go into in this lesson. There's nothing random about what you're seeing. This is strategic, man. You know, this is a well thought out, elaborate strategy and scheme and plot by the so-called white man, being the devil and the deceiver he is, man. See that? Anybody got something?
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead.
It's Psalms 10 and verse 7. His mouth is full of cursing.
Right, and his mouth symbolizes his laws. Okay, go ahead.
In deceit and fraud.
In deceit and fraud. Everything that you see is an elaborate scheme to deceive the people, man. He's playing on your psyche. Now, you notice he was down here in Alabama. There's no coincidence that, you know, down in Tuskegee, they had the whole, the syphilis, you know, it really was an experiment. You know, they used the black man as the so-called black man as the guinea pig. All right. Now they got the face of Jake out there. You know, they had the old guy, Ed, Uncle Ed, just old guy. This man don't know what time. They got him up there with the man. They gave him $2,500 to say that he ain't with it. You know what they doing? They building up. They building up a narrative. You know, to say that the resistance is going to come from Israel. And through the spirit, we're going to go into that. We're going to bring out information on this, man. All right? But they showing you through their media. See, now the Lord has equipped us with the insight to know who our enemies are. Give me Sirach the 12th chapter. Go ahead.
Psalms 10:7. His mouth is full of cursing,
Yep.
and deceit and fraud.
Yep.
Under his tongue is mischief and vengeance.
Yeah. When you look underneath, when you scratch beneath the surface of his tongue, his laws, is vanity and deceit. It's a more sinister plan at play here, man. Right? This man and his lust for the blood of the children of Israel, he is waging war against you through his policies. Finish that and give me that.
It says verse 8. It says he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
Yeah, he's sitting in the cold, damp caves, you know, in these secret meetings. And he's trying to come up with a way to get rid of you, man. And that's outlined in Psalm the 83rd chapter, where these nations got together in conglomerates. And who was headed? Who was at the top of the list? Esau ass, man. And what was the overtone of the whole meeting? To cut Israel off from being a nation, man. That hasn't stopped. That plan is in motion, man. See? Go ahead. In fact, this is the time where it is effective. This is where they're efficiently, you know, rolling, man. All right, give me what you got.
It says he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places does he murder the innocent.
Yep.
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
So is that not on point of what's happening in real time? Is not this man eyes focusing on the so-called Negroes and Latinos? And that's a cut. Again, that's a cut for you Negro-only niggas, which I haven't heard a lot from. They might be in some damn holding area, holding center, a detention center. A lot of them niggas, they might already be, they might be in rehabilitated now. Pursuant to the red list, black list, they already fulfilling that, man. But for you guys, why all of a sudden, what's the coincidence that is not only the so-called Negroes who the so-called white man has his eyes privily set upon, but also the Latino tribes, the Latin tribes, if you will. That's nothing more than Yahweh Basham Shah signing off on us, man. Co-signing the prophets. Because we've been told you that, right? Come on.
Turn this Daniel 8 and verse 25.
Yep.
And through his policy.
And through his what?
And through his policy.
Yep, go ahead.
Also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Yeah, so this crafty work of Yahweh, really, yeah, it goes back to Yahweh Shema Shah. This is the Lord working through the left hand, but this is Esau through his policies bringing forth craftiness, man. See, go ahead.
It says, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
Yep, because that's how this man, and that always been the case with Esau. And it goes back to what? Those treaties. That's how it gets you. He said, look, everything is all right. Let's sign a peace treaty to solidify this. All of a sudden, this nigga's double back and double cross you, man. Being a damn thief and cutthroat criminal that you is, man. Oh, and this nigga, Anderson Cooper, you see the look of this nigga looking like a serpent, man. This nigga with these sky blue eyes, man. Like we were saying, this nigga like he got a whole lot of experience, man. He done seen it all, did it all. Fucking nigga, man. Yep, you got some more, man? All right, come on.
Yeah, this Psalm 52 and 2, it said that tongue devises mischiefs.
Right, and that's what your tongue, that's your laws. That's the only reason why you can push forth your rhetoric, man. It's all under the banner, is in the spirit of mischief. See? Being the devil. You know what? That proves that you can. If you wanted to get a visual illustration of Cain, look at Esau in his media. This nigga, when Yahweh Shema Shah stepped down on him, the nigga said, am I my brother's keeper? He came with all this bullshit, all this crafty, you know? That's Cain, man. That's Esau. Esau was playing the games with the birthright, you know? Go ahead,
It said that
might
tongue.
be that nigga in there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That tongue devises mischiefs like a sharp razor working deceitfully.
Yeah, like a sharp razor working deceitfully, man. So that's what this man is doing. That's what he set out to do with his laws, to work deceit. And we can see it. For those of you who have eyes to see, you can see right through this nigga games, man. You can see that this is all deceit, man. You know? Because right now, you talking more about the vaccine than the Maxine than the actual plague. Nobody's talking about the plague. They're talking more about the Maxine, you know? So let's show you that's the agenda, man. That's what Esau set out to do. And again, he's playing on your psyche, man. That's why all of a sudden that's the talk. See, because the more you hear something, the more, you know, it resonates with you the more this all of a sudden your life is now centered around this rhetoric, man. So that's Esau up to his old tricks. We know you the same old serpent, as it tells you in Revelation the 12th chapter. That old serpent, you know. You got something?
This Job 15:35. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity.
Yep. And yeah, they conceive mischief, man. No, like you have a baby, you conceive. So, but what, like we went into last night briefly, the baby is hidden before it's conceived. So that's what they do. They get in these lurky places, these meetings, Bilderberg meetings. Then this is what they produce. Okay, they got the ingredients. They put all the ingredients. They put it in the oven, which that's a saying when going into babies, the baby in the oven. Yep. You know. Then all of a sudden they come out, voila, and that's what you had to present us, man. This bullshit, man. This was your feeble attempt to somehow maintain the birthright, proving that Yahweh Shema Shai has certainly destroyed the wise man out of Timon, man. Because this sloppy, man. Oh, I see a couple of brothers been doing the videos on it. He is getting real sloppy, man. You is getting sloppy, man. Yep, go ahead.
It says, and bring forth vanity.
Yep, and then, see, that's what you brought. That's what you brought us. You came, you went in the kitchen, you've been in the kitchen, we waiting on you, and you come out of the kitchen with vanity, man. Which vanity is emptiness. It has no substance to it. We can see right through it, man. Right? Hey, that's why we give Yahweh Shema Shai. Call halal Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Lord bringing this man down, man. Because when this man in his heyday, at the peak of his glory, he was able to run circles around the nations, man. It tells you that in Revelation the 20th chapter. This nigga came right out of obscurity, deceiving the nations. When you can run circles around somebody, you got them, man. You tell a person who they is. I got your ID. Yeah. No, man, this not you. Fuck them, man. Go ahead, Doc.
It says, in their belly, prepare deceit.
Yep, and that's what they did. And they belly, in their mind, that goes back to their secret councils. So they've been preparing deceit, man. All right, go ahead. That was it on that? All right, come on.
Yeah, this Psalm 94, I started verse 20. It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?
Yeah, shall the throne of iniquity. That's dealing with rulership. So who's the rulers right now? Yeah. So the very throne, the very being, the very existence of Esau being in power promotes iniquity, man. That's what's on display. And you can't rebuttal that. I dare your ass to say we off about that, man. Because it's not, this is the height of wickedness under this man watch. You got a fucking LGBT. Get the fuck out of here, man. So that proves that this man is the throne of iniquity. Go ahead.
It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? Which frame of mischief by a law?
See, which frame of mischief by a law, man. Hey, and this is going to be made law. Okay? They're going to sign off on a Pfizer and all these different. They're going to have emergency. That's coming out, man. The CDC and all these different governments, FEMA, WHO, or whatever. Damn, they got to be careful. I'm saying some cold words now. But they signing off on this, man. See that? So read that again.
It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? Which frame of mischief by a law?
Yeah, you have framed mischief by a law. You created the narrative. Now you have someone that you frame a picture. I give you the picture. I frame it the way I want it. When you frame something, you leave out whatever you want. Let's say like you crop a picture. I don't want you to see this part. I want you to see that part. Whatever these devils did, they framed this reality to you and packaged it to you, man. And you got these old jakes, man. They just need to die, man. Like the old, let's die, man. Go ahead, Doc.
It says
they conducting an interview with the man, you know? Yeah, you can't see that this is the devil, but you know what? This is desperation, man. This is desperation right here, man. Straight up. Go ahead, Doc.
They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous.
Right. They gather together in these meetings against the life of the elect, man. Okay? That's who the war is really waged against. Because really, 2/3 defeated. What can a 2/3 nigga do to stop this, man? A 2/3 nigga got no power in his hand to bring enough resistance against Esau and his crown and achievement goals. And that's to bring forth his new world order. Matter of fact, give me Revelation real quick. 12 and 17. Let's show who this war is really waged against.
Revelations 12:17. It said, and the dragon was wroth with the woman.
Right, and the dragon, we know it to be this system, man. Okay, and the rulers of this world. That's the dragon. That's symbolic to the dragon. And they are wroth with the woman, which is Israel. Fair enough. But when you read on,
and went to make war with the remnant.
And went to make war with the remnant. That's the elect. See? Go ahead, continue.
It says, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of
and the testimony outside the prophecy. That's who they want to make war against. And how they know that we got the testimonies of Yahushua? Through the web. Because we pushing forth the prophecies. We telling them they fake. We telling them, look, you going down, man. Thus said the Bible. It's decreed. The Lord have spoken concerning the rise and fall of Esau, man. Okay? You got something?
Job 15:21. A dreadful sound is in his ears.
Yeah, this is that dreadful sound, man. You think the scoffers the scoffers really delighted. The scoffers, Esau get that alert, man. Hey, that's why we got the notification about going live. What kind of shit is that? You tell them like we got a limit. All of a sudden we got a limit. We didn't surpass our hours of live. Get the fuck out of here, man. That's that dreadful sound in your ear. And it's equivalent to hearing a damn fire alarm. That's an eerie sound, man. Go ahead.
It says a dreadful sound is in his ears.
Yep.
In his prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's it. All right, come on.
No, that was it.
Oh, no, really? Okay, you ain't got nothing else?
No, I ain't
all right, come on. You got something? All right, go ahead.
It's Job 16 and verse 9. It says, he telled me in his wrath who hated me, be gnashed upon his teeth. My enemy sharpened his eyes upon me.
Yeah, our enemy sharpened his what?
His eyes upon me.
Yeah, so again, it's not a coincidence. This is not anything random about the so-called Negroes as well as the land tribes being targeted as the main resistors when it comes to this whole crown 1-9 situation. No, that's biblical prophecy, man. This was written. This was recorded and foretold to come to pass, to be brought abroad and be right before your very eyes here in the latter days. We reading it right here, man. Okay? The scriptures talk about how the word is a witness until I forget exactly what it's at. What is that? They say the word is a witness unto that. You can probably type it's in the Apocrypha. It said the word, the truth witnesses. The truth witness. It's a witnesseth. I think if you can spell it that way. All right, but if you can't find it, we're gonna go and go into this truth witnesseth.
Yeah, kind of with the truth witnesses.
What that is? I know when you quote it.
Second Ezra 8.
Yep, that's it.
Kind. Yeah, this is Second Ezra 8, and
it says his look drive up or something.
Yeah. Kind.
Let's get that.
Yeah, this is Second Ezra 8 and 23. It says, whose look drive up the depths.
What does it mean when it says whose look drive up the depths? That's talking about the prophecies. The prophecy is the look. Because when you read the scriptures, prophecy goes into sin and for sin. So the look of the Lord or the prophecies is what's drying up Esau, man. See, read that again.
It said, whose look dry up the depths.
Go ahead.
And indignation make the mountains to melt away.
And that's dealing with Esau. Right? Go ahead.
With the true witnesses.
See, with the true witnesses, man.
That's it.
See that? So this word right here is a witness to what's going on, man. We don't need nobody to tell us nothing. We think we need somebody to tell us, hold on. No, we got this is the witness to what's going on. Okay? So now, let's go there. Go to Hebrews, the 12th chapter. And I want the 16th verse. Because again, this goes back to the birthright. See, we have been given the luxury of going to the humble beginning. We can go to the source of the problem, man. So if you're sick, if anything happens to you, not just your body, your car, anything happens, you want to know what's the problem. You want to get to the source of it. Well, here we are. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel, we finna go to the source of why all these things is happening, man. We're gonna go right to it. Go ahead, Doc.
This Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau.
Right. Who is that talking about? They're talking about the so-called white man. That's the most profane person here on the planet Earth. Which, by the way, this is a cut on all you guys who say, why are you using profanity? Well, what this talking about? When you go into that word profane from the perspective of the origins of that word or etymology, it means outside of the temple, okay, which Esau is indeed. This man has nothing to do with Yahweh Shema Shah. Matter of fact, give me that in Psalms. You got something? Yeah, give me Psalms 50, and let's get all that. You can start at 16 and read down.
Yeah, Khan. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 50, and verse 16. It says, but unto the wicked, the Most High said.
Yeah, so let me say something. For everybody got a problem with us getting on Esau, Yahweh Shema Shah, stay getting on this nigga, man. Real talk. Is the Lord constantly talking about the wicked? Is the Lord constantly talking about the ungodly? Yeah. Well, he constantly getting on Esau. So we continuing in that legacy, man. You know? Do I hate them that hate thee, O Lord? See? You got something?
Mm-hmm. Sirach 27, verse 24. I have hated many things.
Woo! See? Go ahead.
But nothing like him.
But nothing like who? Is that talking about a guy under... First of all, you don't even know him. Let's say, hypothetically, if it was a guy in a red spandex suit, and I had to choose between him and Esau, I hate Esau. I don't even know that guy under the ground, man. I don't know him. Go ahead,
It says, I have hated many things, but nothing like him.
Yeah, but nothing like Esau. Go ahead.
For the Lord will hate him.
See, for the Lord will hate him, man. Okay? You should love what the Lord loves and hate what the Lord hates, man. It is Esau. Jacob does, give me Malachi. Just in case a Christian, squirmed up in him, man. Go ahead.
It's Malachi 1, I'm going to start at verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Mm-hmm.
Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
Yeah, there you go. All right, right off the top, the Lord is bringing up Jacob and Esau. So we ain't off when we go into this, man. This is not outside of the will of Yahweh Shema Shah when we identify and target Esau as being the wicked. In fact, this is in harmony with Yahweh Shema Shah, man. Go ahead,
It says, was not Esau Jacob's brother?
Yep, go ahead.
Saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yet I loved Jacob.
Yet the Lord loved Jacob. See, go ahead.
And I hated Esau.
And I what?
And I hated Esau.
That's a cut on all you you Israelites too, but you Christians. It's you Israelites with a Christian twist. You too, man. Who come with that love, the Lord love. That's your brother. Well, the Lord said he hate Esau, man. That proved that the Lord actually hate. And that proves the perfection of Yahweh Shema Shah. Because if the Lord was only geared to one emotion, then that means he wouldn't be perfect. All right. So come on.
Yeah, this is 2 Ezra 3 and 16. And unto him thou gavest Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau.
Mm-hmm.
As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee.
Right. So the Lord chose Jacob. Go ahead.
And put by Esau.
Yeah.
And so Jacob became a great multitude.
Yeah, see that? All right, go ahead.
I had it.
Oh, that's bad. All right, yeah, so let's go back.
This Psalm 50 and 16, it says, but unto the wicked the Most High saith.
So who is the wicked? It's Esau. We just read in Malachi, the first chapter. This man is synonymous with being a wicked. Because you have wickedness on the planet Earth, but there's the wicked. That's the source of the wickedness. You see that? Mm-hmm. You have ungodliness on the planet Earth, but there's the ungodly who pretty much push forth the ungodliness. See? So the wicked would be Esau. Go ahead,
It said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes?
So the Lord is asking Esau, what the hell you got to do to declare my statutes? Go ahead.
Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth.
Yeah, because when you consider, for an example, Joel Osteen, one of these so-called white boys that claim to preach the word, it don't even look right, man. They don't possess the authority to fire, to push forth the word. Even when you see Jake amongst these pastors and preachers, even though they off, they come with that, they can finesse you, man. They come with that swag and that twist, that fire, certain, they got a certain, they put emphasis on words. They'll bust out humming. Esau all bland. Oh, which Esau is saying, which we go into the word saying, one of the words in that definition is awkward, man. So this nigga awkward across the board. So certainly he shouldn't be handling the words of Yahweh Shema Shah. Go ahead,
It says, seeing thou hatest instruction.
Yeah, Esau hated instruction, wet instruction. The instruction found within the Holy Scriptures, man. Okay? The Scriptures tell you that if man lied with mankind as he lied for the woman, and that's in the book of Leviticus, the 20th chapter, they have both committed an abomination, and they should surely be put to death. Esau totally went against that, man. He celebrated homos, and he'll take it a step further as protecting them, man. So he hate instruction. The Lord tell you in what's that, Leviticus 11 chapter concerning the dietary laws, not to eat shrimp, lobster, pork. And this nigga made those very things a delicacy, man. You hate instruction.
I got something for that.
Yep, go ahead.
This is Isaiah 29:16.
That's it.
Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
Yeah, so the so-called white man turned everything upside down. His very being is contrast and adverse to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shema Shah. It's equivalent to painting a masterpiece or portrait. And some knucklehead come and scrabble over it, man. Or you make a great feast and this nigga come and flip the table, man. That's what Esau did. Go ahead.
It shall the works of him that he made me not.
Yeah, Esau was made by the Most High. But his thing is, you made me not. That's why you got the Big Bang Theory. See, go ahead.
It said, or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding.
And what was the thing framed? The laws. So this devil said that the Lord had no understanding because he turned around and set up his own laws. That's an insult. It is. The Lord got all these laws beautifully put together. Then this nigga come and make his own legislations, man. We're going to fuck you up in the kingdom, Esau.
That's right.
Go ahead, huh?
Because this 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 4, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High.
That's talking about Esau. This man opposed and exalted himself above all that's called the Most High, man. And that's including the laws. He opposed the laws and exalted himself above the laws. This man omitted the laws. He don't incorporate the laws within his society, man. Hey, in fact, if you were to keep the laws, you'll go to prison. Go ahead.
It says, or that is worship, so that he asked the Most High, stood in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
And that's the only nation that's guilty of that, the so-called white man. He the one who committed the offense of showing himself as being the Most High, man. All right, in his depiction, his images, even in his movies, right? So yeah, let's go back. That was it on that?
Yeah, that was the point.
All right, okay.
Back Psalm 50 and 17. Seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind me.
He casted the words of Yahweh Shema Shah behind you. Now, in order for you to cast anything, which cast means to throw, has to be in your hand first. So that proves you devils is the one the scripture's talking about, because the Bible is a top seller under your watch. There's a Bible in every hotel room, on every counter, in every living room, in every auntie house, in every hotel, on every dashboard in every car in America, man. So that proves that you got access to the scriptures, man. Oh, and that goes into Lazarus and the rich man. Fuck him, man. When you read that with understanding, man, it show you how much of a devil Esau is, man. They gonna tell him, no. The fuck, man? Esau, you the devil, man. Go ahead,
It says, seeing thou hatest instruction and cast my words behind thee.
Yep, go ahead.
When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him.
Yeah, when you saw a thief, you consented with him. Case in point, Christopher Columbus. That was a thief. Him and his goons came over and stole this land, and you consented with him. How did you consent with him? You made a day dedicated to this nigga. You put up memorials and relics. You consented with Andrew Jackson. That's a thief. That's a murderer. That's a killer. Read that again, huh?
It said, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with them.
You consented with those thieves. You never said, they was wrong. Let's give the land back to the indigenous people of North, Central, and South America. You never said that. Then you have you fucking Edomite, especially you who like to say our forefathers was wrong. Then you go off into your villa or your house, summer house in the Hamptons, man. And you never attempt to lift one finger to relieve Jake. Matter of fact, give me Psalm 6 and 10 real quick. Since you right there, you close too, right? Give me Psalm 6 and 10.
Yeah, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 6 and 10. It said, let all my enemies be ashamed.
They go to common thread. We have enemies here. Okay? You ain't got that yet? We got enemies. And the enemies, pursuing the Psalm, the 83rd chapter, is the conglomerates of nations But first and foremost, it would be Esau, the so-called white man. And we should have to break that down to you. Just go watch Roots. All right? Read this again.
It said, let all my enemies be ashamed.
Yep, which that's the time we in. They're ashamed right now. That's why you have this feeble attempt to try to throw out restitution, right? Through these churches. Go ahead.
It said, and sore vexed.
And sore vexed, go ahead.
Let them return.
Let them what?
Return.
Let them return, go ahead.
And be ashamed suddenly.
What do it mean when the scripture says let them return? That's reincarnation. Proving that the Edomite that you see walking on the planet Earth that said it had nothing to do with nothing, you the very ones, man. And you add insult to injury with that bullshit. That was my forefather. No, that was you, man. That's why the Lord got you on the scene of the crime. See, what you've been exposed to is heavy. This is heavy, man. This heavy right here, man. You finna pay for the things that happened back in the ancient Babylonian Empire. You finna pay for the thing we came out of Egypt. Who met us first? Amalek. You finna pay for all that shit. Them spirits back today, man. And this not for just no casual Israelite. All right? This for the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, come on, you got something?
God, this Habakkuk 2 and verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory.
Yep, now you're filled with shame for glory. This is the time when you should be in glory, but now it's being replaced with shame. Why? Because the prophets, furthermore, the Lord made you bare, man. It's one thing your pants fell down, your belt, then you got like somebody saying, oh, look. That's us, man. See that? That contributes to it. Yeah, your pants fell down, nobody looking. You can cover everything up. But you got the bad little boy. Oh, that's Scooby-Doo. Yeah, I would have got away with it if we were medicine. We them medicine kids, man. The Lord put a resilient spirit on us to continue to chip away. Oh, that's the prophecy, man. It said, I've hewn you by the prophets, man. And furthermore, the scriptures say that we would not give you peace day or night, man. We up again tonight getting on your ass. It's not us, it's the spirit of the Lord. Go ahead.
It says, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered.
See, now you made that. See, go ahead.
It says, the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee.
Woo, Yahweh Shai gonna put it on you. Go ahead.
And shame for spewing shall be on thy glory.
Yeah, and your glory, again, this is the time you should be glory because you in power. But shame for spewing is on your glory, man. That's why they doing all this cleaning. You walk in on somebody, they shit ain't together. They trying to clean shit up. This should be your glory, but shame for spewing is on them, man. Because you naked, man. You have been exposed. The Lord left you open. See that? All right, you got something else over there? All right, come on.
Yeah, this is Sirach 41 and verse 7. It said the children will complain of an ungodly father.
Right, and that's what these devils do. The modern day Edomite. They complain of the works of their ungodly. That was wrong what they did. That's an indictment on you, man. Go ahead.
Because they shall be reproached for his sake.
Yeah, you have been reproached for the sake of your forefathers, man. We getting on your ass for the works of your forefathers. But guess what? That's you. You know? And just to simplify, let's say like if you consider gang violence, the Crips and the Bloods, they're not going to stop and say, oh, was that you? No, they're going to shoot you because you're a Crip, man. You know what I mean? They're going to stop and say, was that you? That was you who came and spray painted nigga spray paint. I know they have up in Alabama, nigga spray painted Trump on the nigga new Tahoe, man. I would have killed that nigga probably. Yeah, come on, let's go. hey, you Edomites, the real gangsters, man. Yeah. That was beef too. That whole Trump and them niggas up in Alabama tripping, man. Them niggas tagging. New 500 band nigga put Biden rules on your shit, man. You got something?
Yeah, but Father, this Job 21 and 19. Yep. The Most High lift up his iniquity for his children. Mm-hmm. He rewarded them.
Woo! The Most High lift up his iniquity for his children, man. Mm-hmm. See, go ahead.
It says he rewarded them.
He rewarded them. That goes into paying you. Okay? Your reward is a reward is nothing more than getting paid off your investment. What you put in is what you get out. That's a return. That also goes into reward too. When you go into that word reward and return, especially in the Old Testament, that Hebrew word that would be shawab, which means return. And that's nothing different than you put in an investment. You say, you know what? I got a return on my investment. You devils, you sold wickedness and deceit, ill dealings, treachery, crime, atrocities on the planet Earth. Now you're gonna reap that. Fuck you think you're gonna get that? You gonna plant an apple and get an orange, and then you get on us for telling you nope. Fuck out of here. Go ahead.
He's on
Oh,
joke.
you know what? That proved that you Cain and Esau. Them niggas couldn't be held accountable for their actions, man. This nigga murdered Abel, and when he called out on it, he got smart. And my brother's keep. That's the same Edomites, man. Go ahead.
On Job 21:19, the Most High left up his iniquity for his children.
Mm-hmm.
He rewarded him, and he shall know it.
Yep. That's so we can go back.
Psalm 50:18, it said, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him.
Yep, go ahead.
And has been partaker with adulterers.
Mm-hmm.
Thou givest thy mouth to evil.
See, you give it your mouth to evil, which again goes into your laws. This is how this man proceed further with his agenda. It's always through his laws. You know? That's this man, and that's proud as hell. That's him honoring his own word like he the Most High. You know, now we can proceed with waging war because we wrote it. That's the type of devil you're dealing with. Go ahead.
It said, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frame of deceit.
Yep, see, and that's what you're witnessing. His tongue, which again is symbolic to his laws, is framing deceit. Right? Go ahead.
Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother.
Yeah, and you saying that, well, you saw in the opening clip, the so-called Negroes and Latinos is the main resistance. This is the obstacle we face with. This is the challenge we have. That's speaking against your own mother's children, man. You know? Go ahead.
It said, thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
Yeah, see, and this is slander. Okay? Did you got something?
Yeah, this is the book of Psalms 52:3. It says, thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Salam.
Yep.
It says, thou lovest all devouring words.
And that goes into your laws, man. Because why are they called devouring words? Because the words were set up to devour you. That's why when you read Psalms 37 chapter, it say the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. With his teeth is his military. With the teeth found in your mouth. See, go ahead.
It says, thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue.
Yeah, oh, thou deceitful tongue. See? Give me Psalms real quick, 31. You was through with Psalms 50?
You want that out proving for your eyes.
Yeah, we can go there. But give me Psalms 31. And I think you started at 12. Leave the point. The point is in 13. Matter of fact, just go straight to the point, 13.
Psalm 31:13. It says, for I have heard the slander of many.
See, I have heard the slander of many. Go ahead.
Fear was on every side.
Go ahead.
While they took counsel together against me.
Yeah, you think this is random? You think this whole narrative of first and foremost is framed as what? The war on the crown 19. See, this devil is slick, man. Now you go back, this nigga waged his war on drugs. He had his war on terror. Now he got his war on the crown 19. And who is the face? The so-called Negroes, Latinos. See? Go ahead, Doc.
It says, while they took counsel together against me, they devised to take away my life.
That's what this is all about. They counsel, they slander. It's all an effort to take our life. All right? So you can finish that off. In fact, don't worry about that. Let's go back to Hebrews.
Yeah, Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 16.
Yep.
It said, let there be any fornicator.
Now, real quick, go to the blue letter on this too. Go ahead, Doc.
It said, let there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
He sold his birthright. Now, that's the lesson, the birthright. Now, look up this word, birthright, Baba Kashar. He sold his birthright.
Yeah, this word birthright, Strong's G 44:15. It says the right or advantages of the firstborn son.
The right or the advantages of the firstborn son. Now that right there proves that the Lord have favors. That's the cut right there. The Lord have favors. The firstborn is the favorite. Now we go into the law. The Lord said those who break the womb of Israel, man and beast, they are mine. Because why? The Lord is a great king, and a king don't compromise. Why did the Lord require the firstborn and those who break the womb? Because that's equivalent to the first, that's the types or whatever. That's the first fruits, the first of your crop, or whatever you might produce. You think a king sit back and say, nah, you just give me what you want to give me. No, you give me the best, man. I'm the king, right? But again, let's go back to firstborn one more time, then we're going to get what you got before we get into this.
Strong's G, 4415.
You notice that's 144. That's 144 right there. Everything is spiritual over here. The firstborn, go ahead.
It says, the right.
Which the elect is the firstborn. We the first fruits. And let's say, I'm just throwing this out there. Let's say if one of you brothers the first, you of the elect. Do you know that you was the firstborn of your whole family line? No matter how you fell in place, your dad, your granddad, they under you. You was the firstborn. And through that recycling process, you know, you ended up where you ended up now, but you was the firstborn. That's how bad the Lord is. The Lord is about perfection, man. And nobody get lost in the shuffle. That's why Yahweh said, I have not lost one. Because the first fruit is going to be honored, man, no matter what. See? Go ahead.
It says the right or advantages of the firstborn son.
Of the first seed, the firstborn. So Esau sold that right. He gave that up. Now we're gonna go into what that right entails. So you can get what you got.
All right, it's on Exodus 22 and 29. It says, thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits and of thy liquors. The firstborn of thy sons
is it
shalt thou give unto me.
Yep. So the firstborn belongs to Yahweh of Israel. Why? Because the Lord they have advantages. It's their right to rule. And Esau gave that up. That's why this nigga is scrambling, because he understands the magnitude of this. And just because you don't understand, like Chief Ephraim or one of them niggas, just because you don't understand that, you know, or one of these guys, they want to debate, you know what I mean? They don't understand what this is really about. The men here at Great Millstone, we exposing you to the severeness, the seriousness of what this is about. This is about rulership, okay? So now, you got something?
No,
Give me Deuteronomy 21 and start at 15. So again, the definition for birthright is firstborn. The firstborn who actually have advantages. You know, that's his right. The firstborn right is the right to sit on the throne. Oh, and that's what makes Esau's rulership more diverse than any other beast. Yeah. Because when you go into the ancient world, if you had a son, he would sit on the throne. That wasn't applied with Esau's structure. This nigga vote somebody in, man. So this nigga off, man. All right, come on up.
Yeah, this is Deuteronomy.
Let's show this nigga contrary to Yahweh outside.
Yep, this is Deuteronomy 21 and 15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated.
See, everything's centered around the firstborn. See, go ahead.
Then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he have, that he may not take the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn.
Now, let's say if you have two wives and one born the heir, you don't give a damn what. The Lord said you got to still give him. He said you can beloved the other one, but the firstborn by right, he get the heir to your. So you see how heavy the firstborn is? See, go ahead.
He said, but he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn. That's it.
See, go ahead.
By giving him a double portion of all that he has.
The firstborn get a double portion of all that he have. And that goes into us. We're going to get a double portion, man. We're going to be rewarded. Just like Esau going to be rewarded double, we're going to be rewarded double. That's why we're going to have new bodies. See, go ahead.
It says, for he is the beginning of his strength.
See, he's the beginning of his strength.
The right of the firstborn is his.
The right of the firstborn is his, which we just read the definition. He have advantages. So Esau lost his advantages, his right, by selling it. And he understands the severeness of it so much so to where he's now setting up this scenario that you see now. See, we going into why this is happening, man. You might ask yourself, why Esau acting like this? Why this nigga got this mandate, this word, and all these? We reading it now, man. This nigga understand that there are certain advantages that come with being the firstborn. But he sold that. See? So now, anybody got some? You got some? All right, now let's go to this article real quick.
This is from healthleadersmedia.com. And it reads, vaccinating Black Americans is essential.
Oh, see that? Now you see where this makes more sense now. Why is this so essential? Because this is what's at stake is the advantages of the firstborn. The birthright is at stake here. See that? Read it again.
It said vaccinating Black Americans is essential.
Why? Why is this so essential, man? It wasn't essential to get you out the hood. It wasn't essential to give you fair living conditions. It wasn't essential to give you adequate drinking water. It wasn't fair to get you, see this, man? But now it's essential, man. It's essential to get you poked or jailed. Like y'all said, Mike Tyson jail.
That's what happened to that nurse.
Yeah. The nurse got jailed. She got jailed. And she tried to make it to the corner and she fell out, man. She got jailed. You said something?
They doing the time on.
Yep, go ahead.
Yep, it says vaccinating Black Americans is essential. Key states aren't doing the work to combat hesitancy.
Yeah, see that?
It says, let me jump down. It says, though African Americans are being hospitalized for COVID-19 at more than triple the rate of white Americans, wariness of the new vaccine is higher in the Black population than in most communities.
Really? But we understand why this is the case. Because they jockeying, this is a jockey for position, man. Okay? This devil understand that the birthright is at stake. See? You got something?
It's Psalm 37 and 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. This man has put you in the scope. He's seeking to slay you. Because why? The only way this man feels as if he can accomplish the feat of regaining the momentum of the birthright is by killing you. And why he had that mentality? Because his blessing was the sword, man. This is the only way you're going to rationalize things up. You know? Motherfucker find out you got a nice life insurance. He put a life insurance on you. He started spiking your drink. That's what Esau is doing. This is the only way he can come up with receiving his birthright, man, is by killing Jake. You know? You got more of him?
I know it's it.
All right. You got something?
No,
More
yeah.
Okay.
It says the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention highlighted communities of color as critical population to vaccinate.
Whoa. Read that again.
It says the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention highlighted communities of color as a critical population to vaccinate.
Fuck out of here, man. They highlighted you, man. And that goes into the scriptures. His eyes is privileged. That's highlighting. This man spoke you out. He pointed you as being the critical. You're critical to him going into this transition of his new world order and his warped thinking, man. But we understand what it goes back to. You know? You got something?
Yeah, Sirach 14:7. And if he do it good, he do it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness.
Yeah, that's the time we're in. We're in the time where this man is declaring his wickedness, man. And the scripture gave you the place and time. It will be at the last. This is the time. And that's when really desperation kicks in. You are told you on your last leg, that's when you scratching and clawing, man. See? Go ahead.
That was it on
that was it. Matter of fact, give me 5. Go ahead.
It's Psalm 10 and 8. It said he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
Yep, behind closed doors, behind this shroud of deception, this nigga is looking to murder you. Hey, it'll be more honorable it'll be more integrative if the niggas just came out and said, you know, we hate y'all, we want to put y'all to death, man. But he's a liar. He's a deceiver, man. Hey, that's like a serpent. A serpent, you really never knew he was there till he bit you, man. This nigga slither up on you, and all of a sudden, through gradualism, he take you down. That's how this nigga do. Like, God damn, man, why didn't you just tell me? You ain't fuck with me, man. You fucking devil, man. But guess what? In the kingdom, you gonna know. We gonna be straightforward. We're gonna be in truth. You gonna know we hate you, man. It's gonna be racism to the top. You wanna come out racism? Like, man, get this cracker. Somebody kill this cracker.
King David told go kill. So you boasting you kill something, even though the nigga, he was like, man, somebody fall on this nigga.
Yes. Somebody fall. Somebody put the sword on this nigga, man. They gonna show that's the spirit of a king. We ain't gonna live a figure. Somebody kill this nigga, man. Now. Was it right?
One more verse. It says, he live and wait secretly as a lion in his den. He live and wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draw him into his net.
Yep, in his net, that's that web of deception, man. You're entangled now in this man's net, which overall that net is America, Babylon the Great, which the scriptures refer to as the pit, man. So that's what here. Oh, once you go into I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think is it Isaiah 54? We're talking about the captive exile hates to be loosened.
Oh yeah.
Is it 51 or 14? Yeah. When you go into that word, it said be loosened from the pit. When you go into the word pit, the definition is pit for catching lions. See that? So this place in America in itself, in the very essence of it, it symbolizes pitfalls, man. You know, and snares and traps that the so-called white man has laid to catch you, man. See that? Being the cunning hunter that he is, going back to the book of Genesis, 25th chapter. All right, you got something?
Cunning on Jeremiah 55:5. It's on Jeremiah 5 verse 22. It says on this one.
No, I want I think it's Jeremiah 5. Yep. The roar's wave.
Yeah,
22.
Jeremiah 5 and 22. It says, "Fear you not me, saith the Lord. Will you not tremble at my presence?
Yep.
Which I placed the sand for the bound of the sea."
Yeah. The scripture said the Lord have placed the sand as a bound of the sea. Now that's poetry. That's a metaphor concerning rulerships, concerning one who have a time to rule, like all nations had. You know, in the scriptures, you have more infamous nations, if you will, Babylon and the Media Persians, and you know, you had, of course, the Greeks and the Romans that spilled over to this beast system today that you see, right? But what's the common thread with all these kingdoms? They rose to power and they eventually fell out of power. Why? Because the Lord set up a sand as a decree for them not to pass over. And this is dealing with Esau right here. Read it again.
Comes on Jeremiah 5 verse 22. Fear you not me, saith the Lord. Will you not tremble at my presence?
Yep, go ahead.
Which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea.
Yeah, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea, meaning there's a boundary. You know, like you play sports, you have bound, out of bounds. You have a certain bound within the playing field that you can't pass over. But guess what? The Lord has set up a bound. A gulf has been fixed for Esau not to go 1 minute, day, month, week, year, second past the time he was given the rule. See, go ahead.
It says, by a perpetual decree, they cannot pass, and though the waves thereof toss themselves.
Yep, and though the waves thereof toss themselves, that's dealing with who? Who is the waves? Let's get a precept on it. It says, though the waves toss themselves. So this means the waves is crashing and making noise, right? Well, let's find out who these waves are.
Yeah, this is Psalm 124.
Go ahead.
Psalm 124, and they ain't the proud way. Proud way, Joe 38. Proud way.
Yeah. You can get that too. Is that proud wave in this one? 124?
Oh, no, it's a proud waters.
Okay, you can get them too, but give me Job too. Job 38.
Yeah, this is Psalm 124, and I said, start at 1. It said, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, now make Israel say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up against us.
When men rose up against us, so what we're about to read is a parable, but it's concerning men, right? Go ahead.
It says, Then they were swallowed. Then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us.
And is not this the time of the Esau's wrath? Revelation, the 12th chapter and the 12th verse. This man shall come down with great wrath. Why? Because he knoweth that he have but a short time. He's on the clock. See, go ahead.
It said, then the waters had overwhelmed us.
Go ahead.
The stream had gone over our soul. Then the proud waters had gone over our soul.
Then the proud waters. See, give me what you got.
Kind of Job 38 and verse 10. It says, and break up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors.
Yep, meaning boundaries. Go ahead.
And said, hitherto shalt thou come.
Right, so the so-called white man had a certain time where he can advance to. Go ahead.
It says, but no further.
But no further. See, go ahead.
In here,
right here in America, go ahead.
Shall thy proud ways be stayed.
Your proud ways is going to be stayed. You can't go no further. That's comfort. Knowing that this nigga in his reign of terror, man, you know, his pursuit of power, we left nothing but bloodshed in the wake, man. We know that there's a light at the end of this tunnel. This nigga's proud waves, this run will stop right here. See? All right, go ahead.
It says on continue.
No, that was it on that. Let's go back to Jeremiah.
Yeah, it says on continuing on in Jeremiah. It says, and though the waves thereof toss themselves.
So now you know what these waves are. That's Esau. And we're in a time where these waves is tossing themselves. Hey, it's almost like if you're taking a damn pig to slaughter him. Is he gonna walk, you know, gracefully? No, he gonna toss himself. He gonna squeal. Esau squealing in the form of his laws. He's tossing himself, right? Because he don't want to be put down. Go ahead.
It says,
yet, go ahead.
Can they not prevail?
Yet you are not going to prevail, man. Just because you setting up this narrative, you identify and target us as being the resistors, you're not going to prevail, man. And this is the comfort what the scriptures bring. Go ahead. Who you believe? What we read or Esau? We believe this, man. According to the words written, Esau is not going to prevail. Go ahead.
It says, though they war.
Though they what?
Roar.
It says, though they roar. What that going into? They're going into his laws, man. I'm compelled to look that word up. Let's look up that word, just out of curiosity, man. I mean, that's what we're accustomed to do over here, man. You know, that was a tactic given by our teachers, man. That's how you come in to understand. We're going to just look it up. It might not give us nothing. We're going to see. It says, though they roar, all right? You go ahead.
It said word war. Strong's H, 1993. It says to murmur.
Woo! Murmur. That goes back into complaining. Here it is. You devils was giving the earth. Now it's your time to give it back. You don't want to give it up. Go ahead.
It says growl.
Ooh, growl. Oh, that's teeth. They show them teeth. They growling. The wolf, before they growl when they show them teeth. So he's growling through his laws. Then the teeth. That's why that was growling when Trump said he's gonna send out 1 million military troops. He was showing his teeth through his words, through his laws. He was growling. Go ahead.
It says cry aloud.
Yeah, cry aloud. That's what you're doing, man. That's what a pig will do on his way to slaughter. You devils is crying aloud. Why? Because you're not willing to yield and hearken to the prophecy. It's wrote, it's written and decreed that your ass going down, man. Now you came up with this mystery plague, and all of a sudden, this is going to somehow change the intents and purpose of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Go ahead, Alex.
It says to rage.
Woo, to rage. Why do the heathen rage? Spirit, I'm going to have to go into this more, man. That's bad, yeah.
Jumping down a little bit.
Okay, come on.
It says to be boisterous.
Woo.
And got the word boisterous. One of the words there is
rowdy. Well, yeah. You trying to, you trying to you tell niggas, sit down, this nigga.
Yeah.
Look, man, it's your time. It's your time. The Lord this is the time the Lord is visiting you. Okay? This is the time when Yahweh Shem Yahushua is finally called your number, man. And you gotta pay. Then all of a sudden, you're gonna be the only nation that ride off into the sunset, man. No, Yahweh Shem Yahushua gonna deal with you.
I got something.
You gotta go ahead.
Yeah, this is Wisdom of Solomon 3:16. It said, as for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out.
Yeah, so you're not going to come into your perfection, man. And that's going into you crowning your enterprise of success which will be in the form of your new world order. You will not achieve that. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, for though they live long.
Yep, and you did have a long run, Esau. That's why when you go into the statue, the longest part of the body is when Esau was running, from the thighs down to the feet. You know, which just a nugget, that's the base of the body too. That's the base of the body, the legs and the feet. See? Go ahead.
It says, for though they live long, yet they shall be nothing regarded in their last age.
And now, which is this time, go ahead.
Shall be without honor.
Shall be without honor. That's why the Lord cussing you out through the prophets, man. Okay? So we get ready to close up. You have something else?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Job 14:2.
Yep.
He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow and continueth not.
Right. He come forth like a flower. That's why when you read, I think it's Psalm 37, talk about how he should be cut down. Because he's compared to grass in Psalm 37, which that's that blade. That's that sword, that blade. The sword, he came up by way of that. But what happens is usually withers, then it's cut down. The Lord said, see, that proves that the Lord gonna kill you across the board. It's one thing just to wither and die. No, you're gonna wither, then the Lord gonna cut you, man. See? That's that double, man. Go ahead.
That was it.
That was it? Yes, sir? Hey, so hey, that's pretty much it, you know. Everything goes back to the birthright. And again, we all, including ourselves, starting with us, we should constantly thank Yahweh Shah for giving us insight. We have the luxury of knowing, you know, going to the humble beginnings and knowing why this man is reacting this way. And we know that the birthright, you know, was promised to Jacob, you know, starting with the elect. So if that's the case, then that means this man would not prevail. So yeah, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Wakakodash. Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders, the great millstone. Shalom to the brothers laboring in his work, and as always, the believers, the Akim and the Aqua, that subscribe to this truth as well. Till the next time, Shalom.
Shalom. DTA, abide the ball.